Remember those days? The clicking of keyboards, the smell of instant noodles wafting through the room, and the epic trash talks after an intense Dota match? For many Filipinos, internet cafes or computer shops weren't just places to access the web. They were a way of life. Today we're diving into the rise, peak, evolution, and eventual decline of these iconic hubs that shaped our digital childhood. It all began in the late 1990s. Back then, owning a computer at home wasn't just a luxury, it was a dream. Fewer than 20% of Filipino households had one, and broadband internet, Wi-Fi, that was a myth for most. Enter the internet cafe. For just a few pesos, anyone could get online, whether to check emails, play games, or frantically research for a school project. Netopia led the charge, opening polished, air-conditioned branches across the country. But soon, smaller, family-run cafes started popping up in every barangay, catering to gamers and students alike. By the early 2000s, internet cafes were everywhere. For students, they were essential. For gamers, they were battlegrounds. And for families, they were an affordable way to connect with the world. Gaming was the heart of these cafes. Titles like Dota, Counter-Strike, and Ragnarok Online didn't just dominate screens, they defined friendships. After school, you'd find groups of teens pulling all-nighters, pooling their allowance too in net cafes for hours. But it wasn't just for the young. Older Filipinos flocked to these cafes to video chat with loved ones abroad, using platforms like Yahoo Messenger and Skype. For OFW families, these cafes were bridges to faraway homes. Internet cafes became hubs for long-distance love stories, with Yahoo Messenger playing Cupid. Whether it was rekindling old flames or meeting someone new from across the globe, these chats brought romance to the digital age. As the digital landscape evolved, so did internet cafes. By the late 2000s, traditional shops were joined by a new breed of premium gaming cafes. Companies like Mindski Global revolutionized the industry. With top-tier PCs, fast connections, and spaces designed for esports, these premium hubs became the go-to for serious gamers. They weren't just cafes, they were arenas for tournaments, training grounds for competitive teams, and spaces where local talent could shine. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. By the 2010s, smartphones started to dominate. With 99% of Filipinos owning mobile phones by 2024 and internet penetration at 73.6%, the need for cafes dwindled. Why pay $20 an hour when you could surf Facebook or watch YouTube using a portable data promos on your phone? Home setups became more affordable too. By 2020, the number of Filipino households with internet access had more than doubled compared to the early 2000s. And then came the pandemic. COVID-19 lockdowns forced many cafes to close, and as work-from-home setups became the norm, traditional internet cafes struggled to stay afloat. Even giants like Netopia shut down branches across the country. But not all was lost. Enter the PisaNet. For just 1 peso, you could access the internet for a few minutes. These coin-operated kiosks thrived in neighborhoods where smartphones and home setups were still out of reach. While not as widespread today, the PisaNet remains a symbol of Filipino ingenuity, proof that access to the digital world doesn't have to break the bank. Though the traditional internet cafe is fading, its spirit lives on. Premium gaming lounges continue to thrive, catering to esports enthusiasts and gaming communities. Meanwhile, some cafes have evolved into co-working spaces, blending work and play for the digital age. Internet cafes may look different now, but they still serve as spaces where people can connect, collaborate, and compete. Internet cafes weren't just about technology, they were about people. They bridged gaps, built communities, and gave us unforgettable memories. While their golden age may be over, their legacy will forever be part of our digital story. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep celebrating the stories that shaped our lives. See you in the next video.